Hey YouTube, Legimus Prime here, and you probably don't know me if you just randomly found this video, especially if you're looking for thoughts about E-Day. But I've played Gears for a very long time. It's one of the very first games that I really ever got into. It's how I found my group on Xbox that I've known my whole entire life. I consider them my family, and it's really what's gotten me into gaming in general. But you're probably wondering, why is this some low-time YouTuber trying to talk about Gears of War E-Day? Well, some of the earliest videos that I really had on this channel was making montage videos of Gears of War. Was I good? Not particularly, but I definitely considered myself above average at least. And I made some very, like, maybe cringe or kind of worthy montages. But I've at least done a good amount of stuff in the game before. I even got featured in some clips of the day back then and had maybe a person or two make a montage of clips that I've sent them before. But either way, Gears of War has been in my life and in my friend's life for the longest time. And I figured now might be a good chance to actually kind of discuss a few things, especially with E-Day, well, just around the corner, especially the beta that'll be here in just a few days. But I should probably explain myself at least a little bit. I've played Gears of War since Gears of War 2. Not Gears of War 1, that's not where I started. I started late in Gears of War 2 where my friends introduced me to it. And I got better with time. I did play Gears of War 1 and I played Gears of War 2. But my best one that I was in was definitely 3. I was there for the beta of 3. I even pre-ordered Bulletstorm so I could get the beta of Gears of War 3. I even faked being sick to make sure I didn't go to school to play the Gears of War 3 beta. So I do at least know a good bit of Gears of War. I've been there for the longest time. I've played Judgment. I played Gears of War 4 and 5. I even played the spin-off Gears Tactics. But I will say that after Gears of War 3, I definitely fell off of playing Gears of War for a while because I wasn't really a fan of what they did with 4. I really wasn't a fan of what they did with 5. And Gears of War Judgment, I did play that one a good bit, but it was mainly just because me and my friends didn't care anymore. It was just kind of a fun thing to do. Like, we knew it definitely wasn't a main Gears title, but it was at least something to bide us over until the next game, but we all know how that went. But I also do want to mention that I am not really a competitive person. I do play competitive games, like even when I stream or some things like that. I do play some competitive stuff, but I'm not one of the competitive players that will go into like tournament things. So I'm not a professional. In fact, the only games that I really ever went into this like professional route was an asymmetrical game called Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. And I was really good at that game in the first very tournament that they did. It was a fan-based tournament thing, so it wasn't anything official. But I won it, and I won it undefeated as the ghost, so I was the power role. So like I do have some experience when it comes to like somewhat professional things, but it's not completely professional. But I at least know what I'm doing in games to win stuff, and to some degree a little bit. But I wouldn't say that I'm definitely up there with some of those really esports people. I'm definitely not in that category whatsoever. So in this video, whatever you hear my thoughts or suggestions are, please don't take it with a grain of salt. I might not know what I'm talking about, but I at least have some stuff that I want to discuss or get off my chest or maybe think about. Anyway, but that out of the way, so what I'm looking forward to in E-Day. Obviously, the big thing for me will definitely be the story. I'll be honest, and I'm probably not the only one. I was not quite happy with the direction that they were going with the Gears of War 5. To be honest, I didn't even like the Swarm. Like, granted, it pretty much was just reused Locust, but at the same time, it just felt wrong. Like, the way they were designing everything, and I didn't like fighting DBs either, because it's literally just robots. There's no blood, there's just oil, and everything about it just felt weird. And being able to go back here to the original, the OGs, Marcus and Dom, especially being able to see Dom again. I am a huge Dominic Santiago fan. I had his profile picture for my gamer picture was Dominic Santiago for a long time. I had his quotes in my bio. I loved Dom, and it was so tragic what happened to him in Gears of War 3. I'm not even going to lie. I cried for like 3 freaking hours when I saw what happened. I was so devastated, and being able to go back and see Dom and Marcus again, it's going to be fantastic. I guess you could say this is maybe where one of my first worries would come through, and that is the introduction of these new characters. Now, I know that whenever you make a game, you got to introduce new characters and things like that. My only concern is that whenever you look at some of these clips and some of the gameplay and stuff like that, it almost kind of seems like these newer characters are kind of being thrust in front of the camera a lot. Whereas when they were told about us, or told about this game, it's like it's going to be focusing on Marcus and Dom. But a lot of these cutscenes, you'll see these new characters just in the main focus of the camera. And so a little part of me is just a tad worried that the attention might be taken off of them so these new characters can get spotlight. But I hope they at least do it right, because there are good ways to do it and there are bad ways to do it. But if they do it right, then we will care about them. But if they do it wrong, then it'll just be like, oh, they're there because, well, they're there. But for the first time in a Gears title, I'm actually really looking forward to the Horde Siege mode. This is something that I'm really actually excited for, because in previous Gears games, I didn't mind Horde, but I've seen a lot of people explain this too. It's like it's a mode where you've got to put a lot of time and effort into actually playing. I didn't like the fact that it was 50 waves of you just sitting in one place and doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again for like hours on end. And if you fail, you got to pretty much start over. I wasn't a huge fan of that. But seeing Horde Siege, this actually looks amazing. I like that there's certain modes from what I've seen in the gameplay that people have been providing. I didn't get early access to it because I'm not known anywhere. Like, my content's all over the damn place. But from what I've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be fun to play. The only thing that I'm worried about with Horde Siege right now is that they're bringing energy back from the previous Gears titles, or Gears 4 and 5, what they did with that Horde, with the energy thing. I'm not a huge fan of that. This holographic looking thing that's just sitting there whenever you kill a target. For me, whenever I see that, I mean, like, granted, yeah, this is a fantasy kind of thing, but, like, it kind of just breaks the immersion from me. It's like, I kind of wish that if you killed something, maybe it just automatically went into your, like, currency thing of energy, or maybe they call it something else, or they give it some kind of different icon. That's the only thing that I don't really like about what I'm seeing in Horde Siege, is just that energy thing. It just kind of takes you out of this feeling of immersion, because like you when you look at the game, you're completely in it, especially the graphics and the way it shoots and everything, the sound, it just looks and feels brutal. But then whenever you kill something, all of a sudden there's just this weird holographic looking thing that you got to go pick up. Like, it just doesn't resonate as well. I kind of feel like maybe they could do something to fix that. But other than that, though, I can't wait to play it. For the first time, I am really looking forward to playing a Horde Siege mode, or this Horde type mode, in a Gears of War title. Now, this is where I might be stepping maybe or on some toes, or a little bit out of my bounds, or whatever you want to say. I might be getting put in some hot water with some of my opinions with this. But Versus, I am looking forward to it. I played a lot of Versus back in the old games. In fact, that is the biggest mode that we played, especially King of the Hill. Me and my friends would play King of the Hill all the time. Versus was the main game mode that we would play. We wouldn't play Horde. We would play Horde a little bit, but Versus is where we were at all times. So I might as well go ahead and get it out of the way. One thing that I'm not really looking forward to is all the wall bouncing and the air canceling and stuff like that. But I do thank the content creators out there for providing all of this early access footage and everything like that. And I will say that it definitely doesn't seem as bad as Gears of War 4 and 5, and how bad it could potentially have gotten in Gears of War 3. But at least in Gears of War 3, there were some ways around it, and the air bouncing or wall bouncing, whatever, hyperactivity stuff wasn't really as meta-defining or prominent in Gears of War 3. But it definitely became a problem, at least for me and my group, and from what I understand, a lot of others in Gears of War 5. And I gotta say, whenever I see that stuff, now, like, I'm not a teenager anymore, man. I'm like in my 30s. I got a job. I really don't want to hop online and just see some, I'm just going to say prick, just freaking jumping back and forth between cover, making it almost impossible to kill him. It was definitely not fun. It completely ruined Gears of War 5's multiplayer for us, and we just don't really like that anymore. And that is one huge concern for me, is just like wall bouncing is in the game. It's definitely toned down a bit, but from what I've seen in some clips that have garnered online, like, I don't know. Like, I'm concerned. I definitely don't think it'll be that bad when the game first comes out, because there will be a lot of new people. But as time goes on, people are going to figure this stuff out. People are going to, a lot of the newer people are going to move on to more different games like GTA and everything like that. And then eventually, I don't know, from what I've seen so far, a lot of this gameplay seems like it's just going to end up like Gears of War 5, where the only thing we're going to get into lobbies with are people just bouncing off of every single wall. And I'm not saying that it doesn't need to be in the game. Obviously, there can be this stuff in the game, but maybe there should be like a cooldown on it or something. I don't know, something that'll make it to where you can't chain all this stuff. And like, I know the whole entire time that they were making this game, they've even previewed it like, oh, you're this tank, you're supposed to moving slow, and every hit against the wall when you're going into cover you're supposed to feel that tankiness. And it's just like, how am I supposed to know that whenever this multiplayer is about as fast as a freaking jet? I mean, just take a look at a couple of these clips that I found online already.
Mink. Mink. Find you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Shit on. Oh my god. Nah, dude. It's just fine. Oh my god.
Yellow. He hit him one. Just it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm very hurt. I got one.
Just that one. That was him though.
I got 3, man.
Oh my god, Nick. Oh my god. Oh my god, Nick. Holy shit.
Goodbye. I don't know what the wall bouncing has got to stop.
Now, before you flame me in the comments, yes, I know those clips are not mine. I got them online. I will have their channels and the videos in the description below, so you can check them out and see the whole entire thing. But thank you for the content creators for doing that. And there is no hate towards them. You play how you want to play. But that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, even in this last clip, the guy says this wall bouncing has got to stop. And even though he did one-shot the guy, or he did kill him, I can just imagine this for newer players being introduced to the game. They're going to see this, and not all of these players are going to be playing in ranked. They will be playing in social, so they will be going against these newer players, and that is my concern. If this game wants to succeed, there needs to be at least some sort of countermeasure or something so that newer players can actually deal with this. If they see this happening frequently, they're not going to stick around for very long. And that's the thing. I want Gears to succeed. I want Gears to be back, and I do think that this game can bring it back. But I have a feeling if they don't really do something about this, then not very many people are going to stay. Like, and I'm not trying to say they need to cater towards the casuals completely. Obviously, there needs to be some sort of skill gap. So I don't know how they'll do it, or if they will do anything about it. But I can kind of see a lot of people like diverting away from the versus and just playing Horde Siege. In fact, if that is the problem, I might even do the same. I might just play Horde Siege. And I can already see people in the comments saying, oh, well, get good, get better, learn how to play. But you know what? Like I said, I'm in my 30s, man. I don't have all the time in the world to spend honing my skills. And honestly, like, I even need glasses to see. Like, sometimes I can't even keep up with more than half this crap. I am glad that it definitely has fallen down a little bit from Gears of War 5, so it's not this hyper stuff. But some of that movement and some of these techs that they do, a lot of people are going to get very frustrated very quickly. And I can see that happening a lot sooner than you think. And to even go mention that, I've even noticed looking up the gameplay because I was so excited. I started looking up all kinds of content creators to see who all got to play early and stuff like that. And there was one content creator who hadn't played Gears in a long time, finally came back to play Versus, and come to find out that he tried using the Lancer and a couple of other weapons and just found out that some of them take way too long to kill. And I'm not saying that a Lancer needs to down you in like 5 bullets or anything, but he noticed that it takes a long time to kill somebody, and why not just use the Gnasher? So he ended up just not using the Lancer hardly ever at all and just used the Gnasher. And that's kind of what happened to Gears of War 5. Nobody really used any other weapon besides the power weapons and the Gnasher. And that is one thing that is another concern of mine. I've noticed that the Lancer doesn't really have stopping power, or anything really has stopping power. And that is one thing that kind of stops this Gnasher rushing thing. Like, I don't say you need to completely have somebody stop dead in their tracks when they start getting shot with the Lancer. But at the same time, it's like, if it's not going to do anything to stop them, what's going to stop the game from becoming like Gears of War 5 again, where it's just Gnashers 24/7? But yes, like I said, I know in Versus, the Gnasher is probably even more iconic than the Lancer. The Lancer is definitely the most iconic weapon in Gears of War, but in the Versus mode, the Gnasher is definitely more iconic than that. But at the same time, it's like, I just like a little different variety. Like, Gears of War 3 was probably the best example of this, where, granted, yes, when the Retro Lancer and the Sawed-Off first came out, obviously they were a little bit overpowered, but it got better with time. But you could still pick whatever weapon you wanted and go into it and still have a good time. Granted, yes, Gnashers were still very prominent in Gears of War 3, but you at least had other options, and you could still use different weapons to be able to at least stop somewhat of the wall bouncing, or at least have something to counter it with that stopping power that they had. Now, like I said, I am not a professional in the slightest. I don't really know game dev, game design, or anything like that. So like I said, what I say, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that this is going to make the game absolutely fantastic. This is what they have to do. Obviously not. But I just feel like it's going to drive people away, and I don't want that to happen. I want Gears of War to come back and have that righteous feeling again. You know, I want it to be back like Gears 3. Even Gears 2. But granted, yes, I haven't played the game, so I don't really know exactly how well it is. I'll have to wait until the beta, but these are my initial thoughts and how I feel about the game right now, my worries and stuff like that before I get to play. Obviously, this will change with time whenever I get to actually play, and I'm really looking forward to the beta. I even took time off to play it. I am so excited to try it. So I hope you take what I say with at least a little bit of mercy. Don't completely destroy me in the comments. If anybody does watch this, I don't know. But I am looking forward to the game. I hope that you at least agree with some things that I say. If not, please let me know in the comments what you think. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you later.